Do you want to break down a little bit about like what you do with your brand and like how y'all came up with the idea?
Yeah, saltwater taffy, it's very positive. Like people have really good memories with saltwater taffy. It's vacations, it's boardwalks, it's going to a resort and seeing a taffy puller being in a window, right? And they're making taffy. And so a really old nostalgic treat. And we had the opportunity to purchase the taffy shop. And we saw an opportunity to take an old nostalgic treat and kind of bring it to the out of obscurity and take it from the shores, beach shores, right, to the shores of the internet and start pushing candy into people's homes and stuff like that. So it was just really fun opportunity. But that's what got us into saltwater taffy.
That's awesome. And y'all have both retail and direct to consumer online.
We do, yeah. You could probably hear it happening right now, but we got in-person taffy making classes going on and
Class in session.
yeah, classes in session. So
That's awesome. And before, like y'all were focusing mainly on the classes and less on the online, or was it the other way around?
no, so we kind of took an opposite approach of what most candy companies do, but a lot of them focus on wholesale. So trying to get onto shelves and retailers and
Mm-hmm.
that type of stuff. And we started kind of direct to consumer, um, and focused a bit on the website. And then once we felt like we plateaued there, we launched onto Etsy and Amazon and Walmart and those places. And then we really started growing and got into a larger facility that had a big storefront. And so we were like, well, maybe we'll see. We're in a small tourist community here, Chase. So
Mm-hmm.
we weren't sure how many people. The town's like 8,000 people.
Oh,
The
wow.
greater area totals like 70,000 people. So we're like, I don't know if there's enough people to support it. But we opened a storefront and it's been super busy. So it's
That's
been
awesome. And so y'all are on Shopify, and we ended up coming into contact a few months ago, about 6 months ago.
yeah.
Yeah. And so talk to me about like what y'all were doing on Shopify before we like started talking. Like what were y'all doing back then?
Shopify's been interesting. It's actually something that plateaued for us, oh, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And we could not crack 30,000 in sales,
Mm,
no matter what we did. And then we added the storefront, which had Shopify POS on it, right?
right.
We more than doubled sales with the storefront, but then we were stuck there forever. So we'd actually been working with a couple of other agencies. We spent a lot of money on SEO to try to move, traffic coming to Shopify, and we didn't see any improvement. In fact, we saw a decrease
Mm,
when we made a lot of changes, and we were doing everything. We just kept relaunching websites and updating listings and all of that, and we couldn't break through. So we hired another ad agency, and we had never done ads, by the way, not on Shopify. We had on other platforms like Amazon and stuff, but we reached out to you guys and really liked the your approach, and it's more of a done with you.
mm-hmm.
I have a high need of understanding the why behind stuff, right?
Which is
So
good. You want that in running a business.
yeah,
Most people lack that, and it's not a good thing.
yeah. And in fact, like the other agency we had before you guys, we saw zero movement, no
Mm,
reason. We were spending a lot of money, but I didn't feel like I had good visibility. I couldn't see what they were doing or why it wasn't working or whatever, right? And so your guys' approach, I thought, well, I'll give it one last ditch effort, and then really quickly we saw traction and really good returns. And so,
yeah.
yeah,
And y'all went from like doing like 60 to nearly 200K a month.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah. So that was a big jump in a very short time span too.
yeah.
Yeah. So like we started going through Facebook ads immediately, started going over creatives and restructuring. What was that experience like? What do you think was different? Why isn't that an agency wasn't able to do it? Like what was the main differences you were seeing?
One of the things, and it's been a struggle for our business all along, but what I think ends up happening, Chase, is people look at us and they say, oh, it's a candy business and it's saltwater taffy, and we're going to focus in on saltwater taffy. They look at what other saltwater taffy companies are doing, these really old school, companies, right? And they're just it just
Archaic.
yeah, it's archaic and it doesn't work with the direction we're trying to go. We're trying to be, and this is ambitious, but and here's a perfect example. So jelly beans in the past, if like in the 1940s and 50s, if somebody was good looking but didn't have much intelligence, right? They called them a jelly bean
Mm.
because jelly beans always look great, but then you would eat them and they were terrible. So Jelly Belly comes along and they created a couple $100 million industry in gourmet jelly beans. They took a nostalgic treat, they used real fruit flavoring, they offered 70 flavors or whatever instead of your five Easter jelly bean flavors, and they completely revolutionized it all. So I think to answer your question, what happens with other agencies, they come in, they look at us and they're like, oh, saltwater taffy, we're going to do what everyone else is doing. And that's not what we want. We want to disrupt the saltwater taffy space and we want to be the leaders in it, right? So we're trying to do things very differently. It's a little irreverent at times and it's just different. And so other agencies, they come in, I don't think they understand that. And it's been a struggle. So even on the SEO side, it's like we're just going to target the same things that all the other companies are doing. We're like, no,
Yeah.
we're trying to innovate and break out in a different way.
Yeah. And with the AI and all this stuff happening right now, SEO is like so tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of agencies like pull the curtains over and then like, go through the whole reporting thing and you don't really know what's happening. There's no day-to-day inside. It's really challenging. And they, get zeroed in on one specific thing, right? Like you're mentioning SEO, like that's one specific service when we know D2C as a whole. Like if you're going to disrupt something, there's a lot of moving pieces that have to all be adjusting at the same time.
Yeah.
Because we cover like, talking about AOVs just on a recent call where, just by improving AOVs by $10, $15, you can easily raise your sales volume significantly and increase ROAS to scale more
Yeah.
or additional distribution channels like TikTok Shop.
But that is the beauty. And you're extremely analytical and your team is as well, right? But you want to dig in and instead of just saying this is what it is, this is the industry or whatever, you're saying, no, how can we tweak? How can we optimize? What if we test this or try this or we're seeing good movement on this? Let's push all of our chips in this direction and run with that for as long as we can. And I appreciate the flexibility, the mindset that you guys have to be flexible and all of that. So
Yeah,
sorry.
it's very agile decision making with a lot of these things. So for the Facebook ads, when y'all were like spending, we talked about creatives, like what are some of the formats that started working for y'all? Because y'all have some pretty cool viral videos too.
Yeah, so this was eye-opening for me, and I was completely wrong. So one of the things we did differentiate ourselves is beautiful packaging, beautiful photography. We've got some really cool stuff. And sorry, I'm trying to silence those. You're probably recording on this. I
Oh, I can't
apologize.
even hear anything.
Okay. I'm getting tons of chimes coming
Oh
in.
no, yeah, you're good.
But yeah, so beautiful packaging, beautiful photography, super creative ad copy or text and stuff like that. So when we first started, we really focused in on static images, stills, carousels. They did nothing.
Yeah.
And so then we went to, I call them like corporate or maybe super polished ads, like videos, and they did nothing. And when we became a little more vulnerable and just opened up the kimono into the company, it's like, here's what we're doing. We're packing this order, and here's this person's favorite flavor, and we're just a little more vulnerable. Those styles all of a sudden started to hit.
Yes.
Like, this is what they want. They don't want overly produced stuff right now.
That's right. Yeah, Rose exploded. It's funny how that works. Like, all these photo shoots and how costly it is. And then it looks good, but it's not necessarily like always what the consumers want. It's great for a website, but for ads, it's like, no, we want founder story. And I talk about it all the time, raw, relatable content. They want to see where it's made, the behind the scenes, the process. People want to feel involved, which is why the classes do well as well, right? Because they're there learning the history, getting the experience, getting to, learn all the intricacies that go into taffy itself. When you parlay that into content and creative, it's pretty crazy how well that's received on social media because people are tired of like the polished ads. They want to
Yeah.
see the, fun, engaging content. And founder stories are crazy how well they can like sell out a brand and boost return on ad spend. I've seen like photos of people in a warehouse with a bunch of like, crappy boxes that are beat up behind them and they're like sitting on them. And then the copy is just about the founder. And those do like 7, 8x ROAS compared to like, a high production shoot. It's just like just showing the background, showing the live location. It does well.
And we've leaned into that, learning that as we've been going through. We've kind of leaned into it a little bit more and just like, hey, we always wanted to project much larger than we were
Hmm.
because that's been historically what served me well in business. But now we're just like, hey, we're a family business, and this is the behind the scenes. We don't have everything put together, but we'll take care of you. We'll make things right, and we're doing our best. And they actually support more, right? They're just like, we like to see the little guys go up against the behemoth
Yeah.
companies out there. So
And yeah, and that's just like one factor of being able to 2, 3x a business is just like one of those decisions can make a huge impact. What it was like, what would you say is like the biggest challenge before then, before that big shift?
it's interesting. And it's actually, I feel like it's kind of been years of getting the foundation in place. And everything's moving at a much higher speed. I kind of equate it to like if you're watching football, you've got little league and then you've got high school, and the speed picks up. The players are quicker, better in high school, and then the collegiate level, and then NFL, they're just athletes, right? And for us as a business, like we were learning the plays, we were learning the business, we were figuring out space issues, and we were figuring out inventory, and we were figuring out and our business, saltwater taffy, it's a lot of products. We have 76
It's a
flavors.
ton.
We have 150 different mixes and bags and themes and stuff like that. But really what's shifting for us is we've started to learn what is working and looking at the what the return is, where before we were kind of jumping at every opportunity. So we're learning to say no more and focusing on what is working, but we had to get the foundational pieces in place. We had to learn what we were doing and be ready. And we've been working really hard to get the people. So it's all the resources. It's the
Yeah.
space, it's the people, it's the inventory, it's the product, it's the listings, it's the marketplaces. It's just a lot of work.
Yeah.
And one big shift, like for me, Chase, I'm working 80 hours a week right now. Like
Wow.
putting in a ton of work, and not because I want to, but it's kind of what is a little bit of a sacrifice required to take advantage of this big taffy wave that we're creating
Yeah.
right now.
Very well said. I think a lot of people underestimate the amount of time that goes into growing some of these things.
And I would say partnering with you, I vastly underestimated the not the learning side of it. It's generating ad creatives, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's work that you also know pays off. So
Yes.
that's the difference. Like, because we've tried so many programs, and we'll be like, oh, we've done well in one airport. We're going to create a bag for another airport, and we can't get traction with it. Where with you, it's like, hey, we've tested these ad creatives. We know what's working. If we do more of this and scale it, it's going to have an immediate impact, and
Yes.
it's better use of time and resources.
Yeah, what you put in is what you're going to get something out of it. That's like the beauty of like, having things backed by data, which is like
Yeah.
very important because we're looking at thousands of different businesses and then, pulling strategies across like what's working universally, categorizing ads, recommending them. It's like a very robust process. And that refinement allows us to amplify a lot of growth. And I think like a big unlock for y'all is like right now with all this organic content that's worked and also with paid ads on Meta, getting TikTok Shop, I think y'all could literally double again the business from where you are now just off TikTok Shop alone. And what's cool about that is once you kind of get the creator flywheel going, it kind of just like generates sales, at scale, and you have all these creators, and then there's not much as much of a reliance on creative content yourselves, right? Because we're coming up with creatives, deploying them into Meta, seeing a good ROI, 2, 3xing the business. But now TikTok Shop, we can get another 2x on top of what we just did and go for, $500,000 months from there alone, which is going to be crazy. And that'll free up even more time once you have the creator flywheel going. That's one thing I'm like really excited for y'all is like to get on that platform and start testing the lives and doing all that stuff, which is going to be huge.
Next week.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be great. We'll
So
have to like circle back and see how that evolution comes in because that's going to, with Q4 now coming up and people not understanding like the dynamics at play, it's like one of the biggest periods of the year for generating sales online. And so it's like ripe for being able to take off.
yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. So what about the website? What changes have y'all made? Have there been adjustments on there? What are y'all actively doing right now?
Yeah, big changes. We're actually within the next 2 weeks, we've got a completely refreshed website coming out. And it has been from our very first meeting with you. I actually have the notes sitting right here on my desk. The first time we met, but you sat down, you were very gracious, but you just you sat down and you're like, hey, you need to do this and you need to do this, and we got to look at your cart widget, and we need to look at bundling, and you've got to get your reviews on there. You need some social validation. So
Yes.
you came through and you just started pointing out like, hey, if you do this, you're going to see a good return. Again, and I kind of feel bad. I kind of feel like we're like a big cruise ship right now in motion, and we're trying to still turn it, right? And it's like kind of a wide turning path, but we are working on a ton. We take very seriously what you and your team suggest, and because you know best practices. But we have been making a lot of changes to the website, and this next, it's really exciting actually. This next launch that we have, it's really cool.
I love it. Yeah, I'm excited for it too. Because there's one part we can get the ROAS up in the ad side with Meta. Then we got website. We get LTVs going, AOVs going. That improves the ads, that lifts conversion rates, more sales from any traffic source. And then TikTok shop. I mean, all these things end up factoring into being able to just be very explosive with growth, which is like the best part.
And you mentioned
Um,
it too, but like if you can get all of the components working in sync, right? So now we've gone from 8,000, 9,000 sessions per month to 80 to 90,000 sessions per month. But if you can capitalize on your email marketing and capturing SMS and creating the whole system, so it's not just a one and done, but
yes.
how do you create a customer for life? How do you retain them? We're trying to recruit them right now, so it's like, how do you retain them, and how do we bump the LTV as well? So not just the AOV, but just hold on to these customers. And it's more than just the website. It's the whole experience. It's what the interaction with our customer service team. It's little notes that we're putting in every box that we ship out, and it's the whole experience, right? So,
Couldn't
um,
agree more. No, yeah, that's beautifully said. All those things factor into it. And what's cool is, once you get one thing going, it opens up the door to opportunities, like you mentioned, like your sessions going from 8 to 80,000. Well, now it's like, well, we don't even need to spend more. We need to just like, convert more of that traffic and getting people aware of like the product or buying other products if they've already, bought one. So there's
yeah,
just so much more opportunity there.
we feel like with that, and it's kind of low hanging fruit. If we can increase our conversion rate by 0.5% and increase our AOV by $10, it's almost $100,000 a month for us
I
just
don't
off.
I don't think most people understand that. It's crazy what you're saying is like, yeah, just a 0.5% makes that much of a difference. It really does.
Yeah,
It's mind-boggling. And like, you talk about doing each of these percentages on every category, before you know it, 6 months later, your business is 4x again. It's wild. And it's just
yeah.
unlocking more of these tranches of just big opportunities that are already proven by data how to solve them with website ads, all this stuff. It's pretty fun in our world.
It is fun. And momentum's like, it's so finicky. But if you can get it, you start to see it like, followers are going up on all the social media platforms, and our email subscription list has gone up 20,000. subscribers since we've started working with you, right? And it's just like all of a sudden you're seeing growth everywhere, and you've got more opportunities to connect with your customers, and momentum begets momentum. So you mentioned that flywheel, but that's what I feel like. I feel like we've just got that going right now, and so
Yeah.
we're trying to keep building on that.
100%. Yeah. And that's why it's so important to like look at this thing from like a bird's eye view. It's like, well, it's not just creatives, it's not just email, it's not just website, it's not just this, it's all of the above because they're connected in every aspect. And it even blends into real life too. Like people will come into location and we've seen this with other brands. It's like, I've seen your ads everywhere. Like I get your emails, I get your SMS. It's like they've received everything and are just now showing up. Like
Yeah.
they might have been touched like 15, 20 times because of all of their activities, which is working for the online. Well, all of a sudden it's starting to bleed over into offline as well, which is also cool to see. So it's like all tides are rising at the same time when you're doing this stuff.
And honestly, one of the areas we're seeing the most growth right now are with major retailers. So
I love it.
yeah, normally that's where candy brands start, right? And I told you we did it backwards, but now um, we've got some huge deals right now that have come to us because
Wow.
they see it, right?
Yeah.
So
Indirect.
it is that rising tide. It's, every channel right now is blossoming. And we even see it in other platforms. Like, some people see something on Instagram and then they go over to Amazon and purchase that item off of Amazon. We don't have direct attribution, but you can
Yeah.
start to see correlations like, hey, these ads have been running on this product and we've seen a spike of sales over here. So
A hundred
it,
percent. Yeah, we've done studies on this with so many brands that we've worked with. Like it's an average report of around 30-ish% lift whenever their ads start producing well. All of a sudden, Amazon's getting a little magic 30% jump in sales. And it's like there is correlation that can be drawn when it's like, reported at scale.
yeah,
So that's always nice because then it's a bleed over effect as well. And hey, if they don't buy on the website, that's fine. They can go to Amazon. Well, cool. So what are some of the goals y'all have for the remainder of the year?
we want significant growth, and we have spent well into the six figures in inventory and packaging and all of that. And so one of the big goals is get TikTok going. We're going to start next week doing our first lives we've ever done. It's going to be terrible. If we'll do our best with it, right? But get TikTok going. We want to close out some of these large retailers, which, by the way, a lot of the retailers, they want to know if we've got a large enough following to push people into their stores. And so, building up on Meta and
It's all
TikTok.
correlated.
Yeah, it will all help. It will open those doors, but we really do, from where we're at right now, revenue wise across all platforms, we feel like we can double between now and the end of the year. And we've got the foundational pieces in place, we've got the team in place, and now it's just figuring out how to pull it off.
I
And so
agree. I agree. I think TikTok's going to be a shock value for growth opportunities there. Once the listings are optimized and we go through, creators who are making videos, y'all are doing lives. We just had somebody get activated on there. They did nothing. They just launched their store. And just by search volume alone on TikTok, this is a very crazy thing I saw. And I don't know if this happens for everybody, but we just had somebody activated. They did $40,000 in sales with no work. They just got listed.
mm,
People were just finding their product on there through the discovery page on TikTok.
yeah,
And people were just searching like, candles and their product was just ranking and people were just buying it. It's like there's so many candles listed there, but people were just naturally gravitating towards theirs. And they're not like a big brand that's known. So it's not like something that's just
yeah.
magically they have like brand recognition. They're pretty new.
Wow.
Only doing a few six figures a month and just an easy 40, 50K in sales off of just getting listed there. Other people have done this too, 5K, 10K, and no work. But like once you get the creators going, then you can migrate those to other platforms. And live streaming is just as crazy there. Like, we're just talking with another brand and they're doing $1,000 an hour. And then we have been going over lives with more and more people, and we're finding out like lives are averaging $1,000 an hour if you just follow this like, format. And it's like, man, if it's $1,000 an hour, why aren't we live streaming all day?
Yeah.
And obviously other people have already figured that out with like doing 24/7 live streams. That's a thing, like studios with booths. So I think the evolution is, once y'all are doing the live, seeing the results and have the ads going on there and the creators are moving, then eventually you just set up a little booth like you have now with the background with the taffy shop like stand-ups and just run it for 4 hours, 6 hours, then start doing all day lives. And you can start jumping to 100K. And what TikTok will start doing is they'll amplify your view volume just because you're getting sales. And if they know creators are making commission and it's working, they're going to push it out more because they get their cut as well. That's why it is a flywheel, because it perpetually gets faster and grows faster. And then all the other channels are eating off of it. And even the guys that are doing like, dream numbers, right, of 5, 10, 15, $30 million a month. I've been speaking with a few of these people and they're deciding to just stop marketing everywhere else because they're finding out that their customer acquisition cost is just almost impossible to beat anywhere else. And it's not even like a 50% decrease or a 5% decrease in customer acquisition costs. It's like, 80, 90, 100x decreases that they just want to funnel all their cash into TikTok because it's lifting everything at the same time, which is mind boggling at those scale.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty exciting road ahead. I think once, a lot of that content's going, it's going to make a huge impact and the easy 2x can come out of that again, and from the 60 to 200 to now doing the 200 to 400 from that.
Yeah.
It's the easiest like vehicle to be able to just surpass brands and light speeds. I have a good story on this actually. Arc Drops, which was a client we had, their competitor Hustle Drops had 1 million-ish followers whenever they got onto the platform. They were like the biggest competitor of theirs. They were already known. They were doing, tens of millions, hundreds of millions. I just recently got on a call with her just the other week. And we hadn't spoken in a few years after she had like completed the mentorship because we took her from 0 to 500K a month. And then she started scaling even more. They bought a bigger warehouse. It was just blowing up. And we'd gotten it to the point on TikTok where we were cranking 10, 20, 30 million views a video. And we dialed in one reaction style video. And it was just like, we're just going to do these on repeat. And so I was just like, do that exact thing over and over again at scale. And then just rotate them in TikTok ads, rotate them in the meta. And it worked so great. And they just kept doing it. And within that time frame, within 6 months, we'd passed the other brand's follower count. Back then, we cared a little bit about followers, not anymore. But that was like, within 6 months, was able to do that. And then I just recently caught up with her, and I was like, "Yeah, like, how's that other brand still doing?" She told me that the company had like died; it was gone. I was like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we ended up like just eating the entire market share through TikTok because they slowed down when we like throttled up." And then nobody was like buying from them anymore. So I was like shocked to find that out. Like, and it wasn't that long of a window to be able to do it, but anything's possible. So I'm excited to see where it all goes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the mentorship? Would you recommend it to somebody? At what starting point? Just overall thoughts.
This mentorship has been a blessing for our business. It really has. And I would recommend it 100%. Like, no, if you are a founder or a business or, a creative that's in charge of marketing or whatever, and you're trying to figure out the complexity, everything's moving so fast right now.
Gary.
AI is accelerating stuff, and everybody's an expert, everybody's a guru, everybody's got their program or whatever. And we tried and tried and tried coming in and being able to truly understand it and having hands-on. And when I say truly understand it, I understand 10% of it. Like, I jump on with your team and they're so knowledgeable, but they're teaching me, right? So
Right.
6 months ago, I understood 0% of it. And so I'm just growing and learning, but absolutely would recommend it if growth is the goal. So if you're looking for growth and you're looking to do it in a profitable way and in a way that where you don't have to become super dependent, right? It's you're being mentored, you're being taught, the best practices are being shared with you. I would 100% recommend this program after having tried multiple programs over the years. So
Wow.
I just feel like it's been a blessing. It's also been a lot of work, but I'm so grateful that we found you guys.
I appreciate that. That's awesome. All right. Where can people find some taffy?
Taffyshop.com.
Simple name. That's easy to Google.
Yep, taffyshop.com. And we're trying to do taffy a little bit differently. So we've got 30 classic flavors, 30 what we call fusion flavors. So we take like 3 or 4 flavors and fuse them together that are more modern, 10 sour flavors and 6 sugar-free. And so like sour is a big trend right now, but that's something that we've learned, right? And so we're going after the sour market. And but you can come taffyshop.com and then you can choose what you can build your own mix, kind of pick your own mix like you were in a physical candy store, right? You choose what flavors you want. We build that mix for you.
That's cool.
And then we are just launching. We're really excited. We've been working with your team, which is this is also powerful, Chase, too. But we've had product ideas and innovations in the past,
Hmm.
but we haven't known how to get the word out. And now we feel like we have a vehicle.
Yes.
So one of these new products that we're launching here in the next 2 weeks, but it's taffy making at home. So it's a kit
Oh, yeah.
where it's all pre-cooked taffy. You choose your flavoring, you choose your coloring, and you actually make it, you cut it, you wrap it, you design it, you do all of that, right? And we actually discovered that working with you because one of the bigger search terms people want to know is how to make salt.
Welcome kits. Yep. Starter kits. Kits do
Yep.
so good. We love kits.
Yeah.
Kits are great intro products too. And it opens up another channel.
Yeah. So, and I think it'll do well with lives, right? We'll be making taffy and saying you can buy this kit, make it, do it with your kids or date night, or
I
I think
just
it'll.
know it's going to go big. I can envision it right now. I see it being huge on TikTok. I just know it will be. I'm
Yeah.
certain it's going to go insane. Like there
Well,
will literally be a turning point where it's just exponentially going up so quickly. It's going to be very exciting to watch.
yeah. And so hopefully we've got our foundational pieces in place. We're preparing for kind of 5x what we think, conservative numbers would be. So hopefully we'll be ready for it. But this is in the past, we would have had something like this and then not known how to get the word out. We would
Yeah.
have pushed it out to our newsletter followers and sold a couple hundred of them. That would be it. And
Yeah.
but we now have a vehicle.
Yep.
So
Systems, a line of order of where things go out when.
yeah,
Yeah. It allows bigger growth to happen. Yeah. Drops. We can build up scarcity. There's so many angles. It's
yeah.
crazy what's possible.
The other thing I'll say and you're welcome to use this as well, but your team cares. So I work specifically with Jake right now. Jake lives several states away and he just showed up in our storefront. He's
Yeah.
like, I'm here. I want to learn the business a little bit more. We gave him a tour
I
and
love
stuff.
it.
I'm like, how cool is this that he cares enough to, on his vacation, to come in and see us and, um, better understand the business. And I think from that, he's had some ideas and some inspiration as well. So it really does feel like more of a true partnership instead of just an agency that's there telling us what to do, right? So
Yeah. That makes me feel good. We take a lot of pride in our team. We built ag quarters for everybody. And we're very involved in like wanting to understand not only the businesses, but like all the intricacies because there's just so much that goes into these things that it's like fun to be a part of them.
yeah, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate your team. So
Well, sweet. I think that's a great end note. People definitely got to go get some taffy. What's your favorite flavor?
how do you like them apples? It's a salted caramel apple. So it's got sea salt, real caramel in the middle or caramel, and then apple flavor, and it's so good.
I'll have to try that one.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
awesome.
we'll send
Cool.
some way.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you so much for hopping on and doing this. I know you're super busy, got a lot going on, but yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I appreciate all that you guys do for us and holler if there's anything else that we can do.